You know, and because I knew then it was over. I knew, you know, it wasn't what it was. It wasn't what it was, and I did enough time, and you know, my kids suffered just like your kids. You know, my daughter suffered. My son, you know, my daughter was the last bit I did. My daughter was 3. I came out, she was 11. My son was 13. I came out when he was 21. My son, the first 21 years of his life, my father and myself were in prison practically the whole 21 years of his life. My son goes around telling people he's a professional jailhouse visitor. He grew up in a visiting room. Literally, he grew up in a visiting room.
I got it. My Gabrielle was 2 years old. My Robbie was 13. And my Danielle was 16 when I got pinched.
You know, they're traumatized.
Yeah, well, the baby grew up without me. You know, I mean, I see my daughter. I love my daughter. We talk all the time. You know, my son was at an age that he needed me. I wasn't there for him, you know.
Exactly. You know, and it's all because of this belief system we got that what we're doing. You know, I thought what I was doing was 100% right. I thought I was 100% right living that lifestyle. You know, I'm providing, I'm making serious money. We're living large. I got a beautiful home. We're going on great vacations, you know, Disney World, the Caribbean, you know, Vegas, you know, but, you know, and the bottom line is who suffers at the end of the day, the kids, the wife, the kids, you know, all about and I tried it. And you know, and I know what, listen, I know what I went through with my father. At the time, I thought the relationship was normal, but in reality, it was abnormal because as much as I love my father, you don't ask your son to kill people. I think it's okay. I mean, you know what I mean?
Well, I had the same thing with my father. We had no problem sitting down and talking about it, you know?
Yeah, exactly. You know, listen, the last argument, I had an argument with my father. He wanted me to clip somebody. I told him no. He got mad at me.
Yeah.
He got mad at me. And I'll take care of it myself. Forget it. Forget it. He told me he got mad at me.
Forget about it. If I disagree with my father, he tortured me.
Yeah, but my father was in jail when I disagreed with him, so he couldn't get his hands on me. Yeah, but he got mad at me because I wouldn't do it. You know, I told him I'm not. No, I said I'm not going to do it, and he got mad at me. You know, so you know, thank God my son, my kids. Thank God my kids. They work. You know, they learn. You know, they learned the lesson through me, and you know, they have their struggles, but you know, they're good kids. Thank God.
See, now me, look, I came up in the 90s, Anthony, right? Yeah. I mean, I grew up in my whole life with the mob guys. Yeah. But really in the 90s, I hit the street. And I knew that by the end of the 90s that this life was ending before I got pinched. Yeah. I seen what was going on. I seen how everything was structured, and it was no good.
Yeah.
You know, and, you know, I hooked up with those Philly guys. They're all good guys down there.
Yeah, I know them.
Yeah, I know you know. I know you know Joey and everybody. I know Joey's a great guy.
Yeah, I know. Joey was in Allen with my father for years. He loved my father.
Yeah.
That's how I met him, through my father. Yeah, in the visiting room.
Yeah, Joey's a great guy. Georgie, Lance, all them guys are good guys. Steven.
Yeah.
You know, but it would, at that time, it would never been a life that I would have brought my son in.
Exactly.
When I was 16 years old and I was hanging around all these gangsters, it was a different world, Anthony. Yes. It was La Cosa Nostra.
Without a doubt.
I'm sitting with all these old timers, you know. You don't realize even that you're being groomed.
No.
Your father took you right away and took you right in and groomed you. But with me, it was like just hanging around with them.
Yeah.
Tell you what to do or not to do, how to dress. You know, you go through the whole thing, you know.
Yeah, of course. Of course. And
yeah. Like I said before, I really didn't want to be a gangster at that. I loved hanging with them.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a norm for me to be around them. You know, but I had other things I wanted to do in my life. I didn't want to hang on Hanover Street the rest of my life, you know?
Yeah.
And, but I'll tell you, in the 90s, at the end, never would have brought my kid in.
No.
Never.
No. I think, you know, my father had no father. My grandfather died when my father was 8. So my father was raised also by wise guys, the Happy Mayoni and all these guys, Charlie Wagons, you know, so he was a young kid. And that's all the adults, all the adult men he knew were all in the street.
Right.
So, and that's what he passed on. So that's all he knew. Right. So, you know, he did for me was done for him. That's all he knew. I mean, even when I got expelled from school, he tried to discourage me, but you know, I was just caught up in it, and I just wanted it. I thought it was the greatest thing since apple pie, and I wanted to get in, and I wanted to get in. You know what I mean? Like, and I did. You know, and I paid the price. You know, I paid the price with prison and, you know, drugs and alcohol. You know, failed marriages. You know, it's not. We're not success stories.
No, not at all. Yeah. I'm divorced twice. I'm 60 years old. My life is still up in the air.
You know, I go to work every day. You know, I wake up in the morning. You know what? But you know why? I was telling somebody the other day, what's the difference between today and when I was in the life? And today, I could say I'm content. I was never content, Bobby. It was always about the next scheme, the next move, the next this, the next that. It was never, you know, never calmness, never tranquility. You know, always who's doing this, who's scheming, who we going to rob today. You know, it was never just relax.
You know, I came up in the 90s. There was a war in Boston.
Yeah.
You know, and I came up in that war, you know, and it was either kill or be killed.
Right. Yeah.
You know, there was never, you know, I built a little empire for myself during the war.
Yeah.
You know, moving and grooving.
I know your story. Yeah.
Yeah. But the thing was that there was never really peace. Maybe like for a year, maybe before I got pinched.
Yeah.
It was just like hectic every day.
Hectic.
Nobody realizes the life. It's 24/7.
No.
And, you know, it's just hectic. It wears on you.
Of course, my father used to tell me, listen, he used to tell me, I'm serious. If I ever disappear or anything ever happens to me, just forget about it. He used to tell me, you can't fight an army. Forget about it. Don't keep your mouth shut and don't say nothing and forget about it. I said, what are you, crazy? He goes, no, I'm telling you, if anything ever happens to me, keep your mouth shut. He used to tell me. That's the best advice he can give you. Yeah. Move on and that's it. It's over. Yeah. You know, because I knew guys that didn't. I know, you know, Tommy, you know, the guys, kids got killed, they disappeared, you know, who ran away, who died. You know, I lost my father and my brother and cousin and an uncle to this life. I know. One day, you know, and people ask me how they feel about that. Listen, they were gangsters. Yeah. It's what they said. This is the way listen, my father used to tell me, and I believe it too. You know, people that get killed, you know, if this is the life you choose, this is what comes along with it. You know, it could happen to anybody. I mean, it could happen to me, God forbid. Tomorrow morning when I go to work, you know, outside, you know, there's people looking to hurt us. Of course. You know, it's always going to be like that. But, you know, the way things are now, who even want to come and bother us? I know. You know, it's funny you said that because I was telling somebody today, first of all, there's cameras everywhere. Yeah. There's cameras in the doorbells. There's cameras in the phones, everywhere, the cars. Second of all, so they asked me, is there anybody out there that could kill you? I said, listen, don't get me wrong. There's guys out there that are capable of killing people. There's a lot of guys. But first of all, who's going to give them the order? Yeah. Who's going to tell them to come and find? They're going to come and find me? For what? I'm not going to say anything specific. I gave an order. Yeah. For a murder. And everybody found out on the street, you know. The feds found out. Yeah. Maybe 3 guys ratted on me on it. You know, and that's not the only order I gave. I don't say that particular one. So now, if a boss tells me to go clip somebody, I got something over that guy. Yeah. They pinched me for something. Well, you know, Anthony told me to whack that guy. Yeah, definitely. They don't want the murderer. They want the guy that gave the order. Of course they do. Definitely. I'm going to come home and try to go back on the street and be a boss again? No. It's not going to happen no more. It's not going to happen. I know it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's not. You know, and the guys out there now. There's still my Philly crew, my original crew. Yeah. They're still out there, some of them. Some passed away. Yeah. And they made a few guys while I was gone. But I got to tell you, between them and the Patriarchas that are up here, it's really low key. Yeah. We're all doing the right thing. They're staying low. Yeah. I mean, in the 90s, we were killing people. We were flashy. Forget it. Yeah. Out there, forget it. Yeah, it's crazy.
Now today, everybody's quiet, nice.
Yeah, even in New York, I mean, they're straightening guys out of it. I still talk to people that just, a guy I know just straightened out his son, which I don't know why he would do that to his son. He just straightened out his son. I heard they straightened out like 5 guys in my neighborhood, kids, young kids in that, you know, early 30s.
Well, it's not like dipping in the pool from before.
And I don't even, what are they going to do to earn money? So, I mean, what could you do today? I don't even know. You know, I tell everybody, they laugh. I go, listen, the way I made money 20, 30 years ago, I would starve today. I wouldn't know what to do. You couldn't do what I did back then. Today, I couldn't do it.
You know, you were talking about your crab game, right?
Yeah.
Now with Atlantic City, which I love. I used to have 10 comp.
Yeah, me too. I comp in every casino.
Yeah. So now I got my card club. We're playing Alabama Blackjack. These guys are tapping the bank for 10, 20,000. I'm counting big money every night. They open up Foxwood in Connecticut.
Yeah.
All the live money is going to Foxwood, and they want to come to my game on the sheet. Avish, right?
Yeah.
This went on for like another maybe year. Then they opened Mohegan Suns. I said, I'm done with this bullshit. Yeah. Close down the club. I don't want nothing to do with it no more.
Of course. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, definitely. You know, and that's what happened. So, you know, it was really, really good when I was a kid in the 60s and 70s and parts of the 80s. Then, like you said, in the 90s, then it started going to shit. And then when I got out in 2004, it was over. And but through the interim, because I was working on myself, like you worked on yourself, you know, like I went on, like circling back to, mentioned the priest earlier, like when I met this Father Egan, this guy, they used to call him the junkie priest. And I went on this retreat with him, with these people, because, you know, I like to snort coke. You know, I had a little bit of an issue. You know what I mean? You know, so I went to a treatment center, you know, for a couple of days. I got, you know, and I got some clarity. I came out. Matter of fact, when I got out of treatment, John Gotti bought me a car. I think did I tell you the story?
No,
I went to see him. I got out of treatment. I went to see him on Saturdays. He used to have lunch by the Bergen Fish Club. He had lunch there on Saturdays. And I went to see him when I got out. I got out on a Wednesday. That Saturday, I went to see him, and he took me outside for a walk. And he says, "How you doing?" I said, "I'm doing all right." He says, "You think you got a beat?" I says, I said, "I think I'm going to do good." I said, "You know, I'm not interested in it no more. You know, it's out of my system." He goes, "Well, you need anything? I don't want you to get stressed out. You need anything?" I said, "Well, I need a car." I said, "I don't have a car right now. You know, my car." He goes, "You need a car?" We went back to the club. He picked up the phone. He said, "Listen, go to 84th Street and Atlantic Avenue. There's a car lot there. Ask for a guy named Anthony, and he'll be waiting for you." So I went there, and the guy was waiting for me. He says, "Take any car you want." So I took a white 4-door Bonneville. I drove off the lot with the Bonneville. You know, he bought me a car. He staked me $2,000. He gave me some cash. You know, that's what I said. He always looked out for me. You know, and then I got clean. And then I started back into life again. And, you know, I started getting myself, you know, respect back, and I started making money. I took over a vending company and all that stuff. But through that process, I started, I guess, developing a conscience. I don't know, you know, I wasn't drinking no more. I was, you know, and I sort of was slowing down. And then I started, you know, with this 12-step stuff program. And then I went to on this retreat with this Father Egan, and I sort of came to believe on the retreat that, you know, there is a God, and, you know, and this is not what I was put here to do, to spend all this, to live this way, robbing people and doing what I was doing and hurting people and making mothers cry and all that stuff, you know, like we do. And, you know, and I sort of started changing inside. I guess, I don't know if you ever felt that, you know, I started changing inside, you know, but I didn't know I had all these legal issues down the pike. I knew I had the state case pending, but I didn't know that the feds were out there laying out there for me. And then the shit hit the fan legally, and I wind up with the 10 years. And when I was away, I made a decision, you know, that I had to slow down, that I really didn't want to, you know, I really didn't want to maybe do this anymore. And then